Hey, what's up guys? If you see my last video, you know how I felt when I was trying VueJS and the Framework7 plugin for the first time. It was a little bit complicated because there was no documentation, the plugin is in beta, and I had no experience with Vue at all. So things have a little bit changed since then. So I read through all the documentation for Vue and also checked how to how to kick off a project pretty easily from the ground up. And I found something that I would like to show you. And it's called the Vue CLI, which is basically a command line interface to start Vue projects from scratch pretty easily. Basically, all you have to do is just call npm install to install Vue CLI for the first time. You just have to do it once. And if you have that, you can call Vue init, and then you can choose a template. Now there's a whole list of various templates that you can use, and none of these come with the new Framework7 plugin shipped though. So if you want, you can use one of these and then add Framework7 on your own, but it's a little bit complicated. So I thought I'd create my own template, which I did. So in this video, I want to show you how you can kick off your own project with Framework7, with Webpack and Vue. So let's check this out. How should we start? Yeah, I think I'm going to open my terminal first. And let's create a new folder. I'm going to call this Vue demo. Actually, I think we don't need that. So I already have installed Vue CLI, so I don't have to do it. If you don't have it, just call this one line and it's fine. Next, I'm going to start a new project. So I'm going to call Vue init. And now you need the name of the templates. You just go to my website, actually to my GitHub page. And all you have to do is you browse to repositories. And here's a new repo called Vue Framework7 Webpack. So you can just pick this one. And what you have to do is you have to enter the name of the repo owner. So this is me in my case. And the name of the template. So just copy this, add it here, and then just give the project a new name. So in this case, I'm going to call it Vue demo. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's downloading the template now from GitHub, and you just have to answer a few questions now. So I'm going to stick with Vue demo. Yeah, just whatever, it's fine. Now, let's go to our project folder. See what we have. So we have a pre-configured Webpack config file. We have our package.json, and we have index.html file to kick off. So let's see what's inside, okay? Where is it? Here. Okay. So where should we start? Okay, we start with package.json, I think. So as you can see, we have all the stuff that we need for our template. Actually for our project, and here we have the dependency for the Framework7 Vue plugin that we need. You don't have to do anything, just use the template, and the dependency is already set. It's all fine. And yeah, actually there's nothing special about the package.json here. The Webpack configuration, it looks a little bit bloated, but it's not. It's pretty simple actually. So you have an entry point, your main.js file, which I'm going to show you in a few seconds. This is the file which gets called first when your app gets loaded. And what Webpack basically does is it takes all the JavaScript files and all the Vue templates and everything and puts it into a build.js file. And we're referencing this build.js file in our index.html here at the end. So we have everything in there. Everything except for Framework7 itself. We're loading this from CDN for performance reasons. And the same for the CSS files. If you want, you can of course change this. So Webpack also includes Framework7 into this build file if you want to. But you know, if you have the chance to use a CDN, why not? So we're doing this here. Just keep in mind that we're separating Framework7 itself from its plugin, the VueJS plugin, which is built into the build.js file by Webpack. And the reason for that is the plugin is pretty new and there's no CDN yet which hosts the plugin file. So I've integrated this into the build file. All right, what else we got? Yeah. Okay, there's a few more, configurations for Webpack. So what we have here are some rules. And what it basically does is it takes all the Vue files, which I'm going to show you in a few seconds, and sets the configuration for the CSS to intended. Actually, it sets it to Sass. If you don't want that, you can just remove this line. Okay, if you want to use plain CSS or plain Sass, just remove this and we'll be fine. We're going to use ES6, which means ECMAScript 6 for this project. And to keep compatibility with older browser versions, we're using Babel, which transcompiles all the ECMAScript 6 code into regular JavaScript, which is ECMAScript 5. All right. So let's see what else we got interesting. Yeah, here we have the integration of the Framework7 plugin for Vue. As you can see, it's already installed into the Node.js modules folder. And yeah, nothing special here. Yeah, the rest is not that interesting. We have some, some uglifying going on here, stuff. So let's dive into the code, okay? So we have our source folder. And the main entry point is main.js. And what it does is imports all the dependencies that we need. So of course it's importing Vue. It's importing our main template, which I'm going to show you right now. It's here. And this template basically just defines how our starting site, the view that you see when you open the app for the first time, looks like. I'm not going to dive in too much into this because I want to show you the user interface first so you can see how it looks like, and then I'm going to explain the code, okay? So we have everything here that we need for our view, which is the markup. It's written in Jade. If you don't want to use Jade, just remove this line here, like this, and you can just write regular HTML. I personally like Jade, so I'm going with Jade. And we have here our JavaScript. This is just some initialization code, nothing special here. And here we can add our CSS. And as you can see, we have enabled Sass, and we're with the indentation mode. I'm going to show you in a few seconds how this works, how it looks like. If you don't want it, just remove it and write regular CSS. Okay. So that's it. Let's go back to our main.js file. Another important file is roots.js. Now, what roots.js does is it maps Vue component to a Vue file. Okay. So basically in our application, we have two pages. Actually, yeah, I'm going to show you the user interface first. I think this is easier. So to run your app, just call npm run dev, which is just a npm script. I think it's defined here. There you go. This is what npm run dev does. Okay. So I'm going to run it. Oh, it failed. Why did it fail? Oh, okay. Of course, I forgot to run npm install. Yeah, see, it's pulling in the node modules folder and getting all the dependencies that we need. So, okay, that's it. Now, let's run npm run dev. And this will run a server which then serves our app from a local website. It's running on port 8080. All right. Okay, so here on the left-hand side, you can see our basic app. There's not much inside. You just have two links, and when you click them, we're gonna be taken to a new page. You click back, and you have the second page, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so in these two pages, they're defined in page1.vue and page2.vue. And in the routing file, this is what I've been saying, we have page 1 as a component, and the URL page 1 is mapped to this component, which is defined in page1.vue. And the same thing goes for page 2. So we have a path page 2, and it's mapped to our component page 2, which is defined in page2.vue. All right? It's not too complicated. Okay, what else we got in our main.js file? So we are also importing Framework7 Vue, and this is pretty important. This is defined in the Framework7 plugin file. And we have to tell Vue that we want to use this, so don't remove this. Next, we are initializing a new Vue object. So we're defining our root component, actually our root element, which is just app. I think it's defined in our home file. Yeah, there you go. So this is the root element, the very first element that you use in your body. And we kick off the app with our home template, which is defined in home.vue, which is this one, which I already showed you. And we're also setting some options for Framework7. Now, in most cases, just don't change this. You can leave this to this settings and it will work just fine. Here you can also see that we are mapping the roots options to our roots file, which is here. Okay. Now let's look in our templates, in our Vue templates. The home page which you can see on the left side, it's pretty simple. You have a views element here. Now this is already built into the Framework7 plugin for Vue. This plugin basically provides a set of Vue components which wrap Framework7 components. And that's the reason why we can use Framework7 views here. And if you run this and check the HTML markup which has been generated, it will look like this. It's a div which is called which has a class views. Okay, and within our views element we have a new file, new element view, which is this one, and we have a navbar, and we have a wrap element for our pages. Okay, and the first page that we're loading is our home page. So we just add our content directly here. If you want, you can also use a separate Vue file for this, but I wouldn't know why. So I'm just putting it directly into here. And we have our two links to page 1 and to page 2. These are also Framework7 components. And we're linking to the URL of our pages. Now remember, in our routes, we have defined where these pages link to. So if you want to add a new page, let's say you want to add a new link, like this. Let's say you want to add a new link, page 3, like this. And I save this. Now we have a new link to page 3. Now if I click it, nothing happens. Now that's because we haven't defined what is page 3. So we can do that by simply copying this and change this to page 3. And we also need to import our Vue file. And of course we need a new Vue template. So I'm just going to duplicating this one, Vue 2. And you need to change the name of the template, which is page 3. All right. So let's see. And there we go. It was that easy. So the tricky part here is to not forget to do the mapping in our root.js file and just create a new Vue template file, and that's pretty much it. All right. So this is the templating. Here you can add all your scripts file for the page that we're on now. And if you want, you can add your CSS files. Now, let me show you how I use CSS. Now, in this case, we have enabled Sass. If you don't know what Sass is, just Google it. It's a pretty cool styling language which sits on top of CSS. And we're using the indented syntax here. So what this means is, basically, the CSS looks a lot like Jade, which saves you a lot of stuff to type. You know, there are no colons, there are no brackets or nothing. Basically, this says, okay, we're selecting all the elements which have the class red. And within this element, we're searching for all spans. And we want all these spans to have color red. Now, this is basically, this one, is it? No. Oh, it's here. See, it says this text is red. And we have a paragraph which has a class red. And within this paragraph, we have a span with the text red. So if you look into this, this is how the markup looks like. And as you can see, the Sass code has been compiled to basically this. Okay? Now, I personally recommend using Sass with this syntax because it's very easy to use. It saves a lot of code, and it basically forces you to use indentation. Okay, so much about CSS. If you want to know which components in Framework7 have been already mapped to Vue, I think it's all of them, but you need to know how these are called. Now the problem is currently there's no documentation for this, so the only chance we have is go to the plugin file, which is, where is it? Framework7 Vue, and there's a kitchen sink in there, which you can, of course, you can just run a kitchen sink and check out the components, how that looks like. But if you just want to know how they're called, there are Vue files in here. And if you open that, you have everything what you need. Like a lot of examples, you can see how the components are called. And yeah, just browse through the files, and I think you'll find everything that you need. Okay, that's it. Wish you a lot of fun using Framework7 with Vue and Webpack. If you liked this video and it was helpful for you, please click on the like button here on YouTube. If you want to see more videos about coding, subscribe. And yeah, Wish you a great day. Bye.